as far south as you dare to travel lies Thesta, a cold and barren wasteland. You look to the mountains, home of the dwarves, the sun setting behind them. But something flickers across your vision, a shadow. Thestian Nooklings are slightly larger than their forest-dwelling cousins, standing between 3 and 5 inches tall. Their skulls are broader. A thick fur coat with a dense undercoat sits above a layer of blubber. Webbed paws and fingers prevent them from sinking into the snow. As trees are scarce in Thesta, the Nooklings have taken to living in burrows underground. However, if they find a tree, they will still prefer to build their nests in the hollows of the trunks and amongst the branches. Thestian Nooklings will help guide dwarves to the biggest gems and gold seams that are buried deep in the ground, beneath the mountains. Okay, I had a lot of fun coming up with these guys, and I find that's half the fun when coming up with a new species, is not just sticking to what you think you want, but just building on it. And I mean, you know, these guys might not appear in any of my books, but it doesn't matter. I just had so much fun coming up with the sort of differences between these and the original Nooklings. Yeah, and it's like I say, it's something I really enjoy doing. Will I do it again? More than likely. Will there be more Nooklings? Also, more than likely. Just realised I'm talking above my microphone. That wasn't very clever. But as well as the differences, I wanted there to be obviously some similarities so that it was obvious these guys were still Nooklings, just, you know, from a different area of Midgard. And, you know, I think I've achieved that, making them extra fluffy. Now, I did write some notes underneath, and I do not know what was going on with my spelling that day. It was just one of those, you know, yeah, part of it was I wasn't paying attention, and sometimes, like, I will Google a word if it looks wrong, and Google says it's okay, but I think sometimes it's also like the American spelling versus the English spelling, and it's trying to find the right one, and can get frustrating sometimes, but hey ho. That's a whole nother rant for a whole nother day. But yeah, I also wanted to do this in the biggest sketchbook, not sure why, I just felt like it. And then I created the colour sheet, and again, I wanted there to be some similarities to the originals. Now actually, that colour sheet took me forever to do. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, why it kept getting really pixelated and distorted, and I realised that it was actually the DPI setting was set to like 75, I think, so I had to bump it right up to whatever max is, 300, 360, something, whatever. You know, I'm still learning about these things. As far as digital art goes, I'm basically winging it. Yeah, because I think I've mentioned this, I have yet to find a tutorial that is completely for beginners with digital art. So yeah, like I say, I tend to make it up as I go along. Anyway, once I fixed the line work, because I forgot what I had, well, just completely forgot the webbing on the hands, yeah, it was time to colour them. And again, I wanted to do similar to the original Nooklings. I wanted to have some that were sort of animal based, which this one's based on a snowy owl, and I wanted some sort of just random colours. Now with the Thestian Nooklings, there are no bright colours. There are some blues, but there's nothing really bright and vibrant, because obviously, you know, they're in a tundra and you don't want them standing out too much, because otherwise they will get eaten, and nobody wants that. But yeah, and I also wanted to do a couple of the colours that the original Nooklings are. So like this one is blue patchwork, which there was in the original. If you've not seen that video, I will link it down below. Yeah, so again, a lot of fun. Now, I've not done as many colours on this sheet as I did for the originals, and there are a couple of reasons for that. But the main one being is I do have a couple of characters that I want to design as the Thestian Nooklings, and yeah, I don't want to do this many straight off the bat, sort of random. I kind of want to do a separate video for these guys. We'll get more into that when we get there. And the other reason is I actually put way too many Nooklings on this page. I mean, I tried to fit in as many as I did on the original sheet, but because these guys are bigger, I shouldn't have done that. I should have put fewer on there. And it has ended up with even more than on the original sheet. Yeah, it's just one of those, I wasn't thinking properly. But yeah, again, just designing these patterns and things, it's a lot of fun. But I'm going to stop waffling for a bit and you can enjoy the art process. So I am really happy with how these guys turned out. Really happy to continue creating Nooklings. Yes, there will be more of the Thestian Nooklings, more of the normal Nooklings, maybe some others on top of that. But that is going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember to stay uniquely you, and I will catch you Nooklings next time.